Are we signed on to Twitter on this? Shall I try and sign into Twitter? Oh, Twitch, that's Twitch. Oh, it's called X, isn't it? No, it's fine. And there's no way of me seeing. There's no way of me seeing the chat right now, is there? Yo, check. Yo, hello. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, let's go. Oh, wait, one sec. All right, go on, it's fine. We go live on this. Okay, guys, we are live. I said it, we're gonna do another stream this week. So we thought we were gonna do a Wednesday stream, and we're gonna take a little break for the rest of the week as we work on things in the background, collect some content and bring out some new videos. So yeah, yesterday's stream was lit. I got a lot of replies on Instagram. A lot of you guys enjoyed yesterday's stream. So it's going to be similar going ahead. Various different topics. We're going to be talking about politics. We're going to be talking about dating, a lot of red pill stuff, the truth, nutrition, elevating as a man, etc. And obviously we cover a lot of sports as well, especially with MMA and football. So yeah, guys, obviously normally I do a strain review at the end of the show, but we have two strains here. We have the Snowman by Big Smoke. It doesn't actually say the strain genetics on here, but from what I remember, Snowman is like a wildlife cross. Let me have a little research and see what Snowman is. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows what Snowman is. Snowman genetics. Strain genetics. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's like an OG cross wildlife, maybe. Oh, no, okay, cool. So, Girl Scout cookies. It's not even telling me. All right, cool. So, it's a cross between OG Kush and cookies. So, I don't know why I thought wildlife was in it. I know the same guy created wildlife as well. So, we're going to do the Snowman from Big Smoke. And we're also going to do the Firebelly Toad, which everyone's raving on about right now. It's the new cross of toad venom. Definitely looking forward to this one. So yeah, we're gonna start off with a review. On this show, on the stream, we're going to talk about Russia and China going deeper into war. For you guys who didn't see, Putin got an assassination attempt on him. They tried to blow up a helicopter that he was in. And, you know, he's furious at the moment and he wants to go deeper into war. He wants to bomb the shit out of Ukraine and continue to do so. So we're going to talk about that. Alex Jones covered that on his on X. We're also gonna react to, I don't know if you guys seen a guy on Instagram and YouTube. He's a guy who goes around Miami and he goes up to couples, he goes up to females and he just asks them a bunch of dating questions. And he's called The Desirable Truth. And we're going to react to a lot of his clips. His clips are epic. And yeah, go follow him. Definitely one of the red pill guys who's killing it right now. And we're going to react to him. From there, I'm going to react to a message that I got on Instagram. Obviously, I posted up one of my favorite books, Why Women Deserve Less, the author's Myron Gaines. And, you know, I knew I was going to get shit from it. I get shit from it every time I post it. It's normally females who give me the shit. But this time we had a guy who I would say, like, you know, one of my fans, a guy who's been following me for a long time, a guy who takes inspiration from outside of dating. But yeah, he told me that I'm clueless about women, and he told me that women want a partner, a 50-50, etc. And I'm here to debunk that in a little bit as well. We're going to react to a lady called Savannah Stone, who was on the Whatever podcast. And, you know, we had a bunch of 304s on the podcast shaming her for her being a wife. Literally, that's what we've come to in 2025. You have promiscuous girls, sluts and whores, shaming traditional good women for being wives. Insane. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Tate brothers who got charged in England with all these charges. We're going to talk deeper into that. I'm going to talk about something in my personal life, which is dating related, which I'll speak to you guys about. We're going to talk about Obama and Diddy. Apparently Obama and Usher have been seen at the Diddy parties. And, you know, I did say the Democrat Party is definitely linked up with all the celebrities and they're definitely into some weird shit. And this kind of proves my point. But we'll go into that a little bit later. The Arsenal kitman, after 22 years of him being a kitman for Arsenal, he was fired from his job. Why, may you ask? Well, you know, I know them boys always say and go on like they're victims, right? But the truth is, if you are pro-Israel, I think it will benefit you financially and in your career. If you are pro-Palestine, it's literally the other way around. You guys might see, well, how's that? Where's the proof? Well, you know, Dan Bilzerian actually lost $800 million from deals he's had because of what he's been saying lately. And not just that, but like I said, even in a smaller situation, the Arsenal kitman got fired for just posting up things that were pro-Palestine, which is pretty insane, right? And, you know, I believe in freedom of speech. I believe even if you are pro-Israel, you should have the right to say whatever and whatever you want. Like, literally, as long as you're not going out there and saying, look, we need to inflict violence on these people, then I think you should be able to say pretty much anything else. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Mourinho come out and said and advocated for African players who play for European clubs to stop playing for their European clubs. He said that there should be a ban on it. He said that the African players should stick to their African countries. And, you know, I think the African people are probably the happiest about this, because that means literally, I think Nigeria and Ghana and a lot of the African countries will turn to be one of the best soccer nations in the world. If you look at a nation like France, for example, how many of the guys who play for France are actually French? Not many of them. They're either North African or African. A lot of them are Algerian, Moroccan, and Ghanaian, like I said, from Cameroon, Nigeria, etc. We're also going to go into even explaining to you guys why average women do not want to date average men. This is what we've come to these days, and there's a reason behind that. I'll go into it a little bit deeper, little later. And AI will leave you behind. In other words, guys, if you're not going to start using AI in your everyday work, then you are going to fall behind. And especially these jobs that are easy to do, they're going to be taken by AI. So if you're not like a plumber or electrician, something that's physical, and you know, you do like a desk job, your desk job is more likely going to be gone by a robot and taken by a robot soon. So I'm going to talk about that and how you guys need to step up, because the middle class is literally on the way to being erased. It's all going to be poor people and rich people. That's how it's going to be. There's going to be no middle class. And we're already seeing it now, especially in big cities. And then we're going to end it with the Big Smoke review. So yeah, guys, that's the lineup for today. Looking forward to chilling here for a couple hours with you guys, talking that knowledge, giving that game, you know, going a little bit into entertainment, giving out some red pills, because, you know, I've seen a few guys on Instagram a little bit baffled by a few of my posts and not really understanding not just female nature, but just life in general and how things work. So, okay, we'll go straight into the review. So here we have the Firebelly Toad. Loving the packaging. Honestly, one of the best packagings out there right now. I love the eye of the toad at the top. You got the belly of the toad, which is like all orangey at the bottom. Soil grown. It's got all the brands like Ronin, who I believe is the breeder, The Firm, who's the grower, Kush Clinic, who sells it, and Tribe, who's also part of the team, like a grower. I don't know if he's a grower, but he's part of their team, right? So Firebelly Toad, which is the Zikigai cross the toad venom. For people who've never had the Zikigai, it's like a Z. It's like a Skittles, if I had to guess. And yeah, they crossed it with the toad venom, which, like I said to you guys, last year in 2024, toad venom was definitely the #1 strain and definitely one of my favorites. I probably smoked a good pound of that. So yeah, guys, I'm intrigued to see how this looks, because like, you know, having so much toad and having so much Z in my life, I want to see the fucking cross. I want to see how it smells, how it looks, how it tastes. So we're going to open it up. Before we open it up, just a quick one on the packaging again. The packaging always from these guys, the Tribe, Hash Tribe, the Tribe, The Firm, always elite packaging, man. And this one is definitely elite in itself. So I don't know if you guys can see that there. There's going to be images I'll post up on the short-term videos, which will be on YouTube. And guys, if you're watching this live, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, please go over to YouTube. Even if you're not watching it on YouTube, go over to YouTube, drop me a like. You know, I don't want no super chats right now. You guys can send free chats in. I don't necessarily need any investment, but please, if you're going to invest your time, just go drop me a like. At least you'll get me up the algorithm and get more people in the chat, and that allows me to put more hours into it and give you guys more value. So yeah, guys, go drop a like in the chat, on YouTube, on Rumble, wherever you're watching. So guys, I'm getting out the nugs. All right, cool. So from the outside, you know what? From here, it looks exactly how it's supposed to look. It literally looks like a Z cross toad venom. So yeah, actually looks very beautiful. I I'd say pretty light colored, covered in trichomes. It literally looks like the in between Toad Venom and Z. It's got the orange hairs and the color of Z, but also got the structure and a few of the colors from the Toad Venom. So yeah, looks incredible. Nicely well trimmed. Nice formation on the nugs. You know, can tell it's been grown well. No PGRs, obviously. And yeah, this one is soil grown. So the look looks great. The smell. All right, yeah. Instantly, as soon as I smell it, I get straight away some Z. So I can definitely smell the Skittles in it. But you know what? You can actually smell the toad as well. Yep, you can. You 100% can. This is elite. And you know what? Hats off and big props to Hash Tribe and his team. The firm, they're always smashing it, like I said. And not like, listen, it's not always perfect. Like I have one review coming out, like the pineapple twist, for example. I did with the from those guys, and I hated it. I thought it was trash, and not because of the strain, but that was really a bad batch. And I had people after me say, "No, bro, I had a great batch and it tasted amazing." But I did say on the review, I can tell it's a great strain, but it wasn't grown well. Guys, it's a plant. You can't always get it perfect, yeah. So you're gonna have ups and downs between batches, but these guys are pretty consistent, and I love the strains that they're working on. I love their packaging. So yeah. We're going to break up the Firebelly Toad, and we're going to roll one up and get it sparked up and give it a review. But yeah, so far, I'm definitely impressed. So yeah, as I roll up, let's you know what? As I roll up, let me get the desirable truth out. Let's see on YouTube, because I know a lot of these videos are on Instagram that I wanted to react to, but I think it's going to be harder to do it that way. So the desirable truth, okay. Okay, so we've got a few shorts here that I'm gonna react to. Let me just make sure it's this. All right, cool. So yeah, guys on Instagram, I'm gonna stop the Instagram stream right now. So, yeah, we're going to stop the Instagram stream. Come over to YouTube if you want to follow the rest of the stream. We're going to be on YouTube. Catch us on YouTube. So, yeah. All right, let's go. It's crazy as well that my big account, my Nature Boys account, like, is so heavily shadow banned for so many years. Mainly it was because I was talking about the vax and politics at the beginning, but at this stage I think it's just buried. All right, cool. So hope everyone's over from Instagram onto YouTube. We're going to carry on rolling up the Firebelly Toad, and as I do that, I'm going to change the camera and we're going to go and react to some clips from The Desirable Truth. As I said before, The Desirable Truth is a guy who lives in Miami. He goes around and he interviews a lot of ladies in Miami and a lot of couples. And he just asks basic, simple questions, but, you know, tries to catch them out at the same time. And yes, he does. So yeah, we're going to look at a few of their clips. We're going to change the camera over to the laptop. All right, let's start off with this one first.
Does it cost as a woman to look dateable?
Honestly, it does not cost that much. Like, I do my own nails. I mean, I pay like maybe like $25 like a month to keep my nail stuff like clean and everything. But other than that, that's like, you can do your own nails, you can do your own eyebrows, you can do your own makeup. Like,
how much are you spending on makeup monthly?
I love makeup, so like I love trying new products like every month. So probably like maybe like $100 like every 2 months.
So you're not spending more than $300 a month on just looking dateable?
No. I'm a single mom, so I have to prioritize.
Well, let's say a man came into your life. Does that price stay the same or does it go up?
I think it stays the same because you are who you are. You know, you're a woman, so you take care of yourself. You just keep up with yourself.
You wouldn't be looking for him to start paying for those things as a man?
No, I don't think so. Like I do my own nails, so why should I ask a man to pay for my nails if I enjoy doing my own nails? You know what I mean?
What's your age?
All right.
6 years old.
So I guess that's a positive clip right there. Is she heavily dateable? For me personally, no. Like single mom's just an L. However, she seems cool, man. She seems like, you know, she's not expecting too much. I don't know if she's saying that because she's on camera, but yeah, it doesn't sound like she's materialistic or looking for the bag, etc. But yeah, $100 to look good is very cheap for a woman. Okay, let's go next. One sec.
What's your age?
I'm 22.
How long was your last relationship?
It was 6 months.
And did you break up with him or did he leave you?
I had to break up with him.
So what ultimately pushed you to throwing the whole relationship away?
Not me. It had to end, and I was so trapped in it that I had to leave it. So him cheating on me was my way out.
How did you feel like you were trapped in the relationship?
It was really controlling. Like I was cut out from like my friends, my family. I just became someone that I wasn't anymore, and my mom saw the life go out of my face, and my best friend, she was like, you're not yourself anymore, and I didn't have my sparkle anymore. I wasn't laughing anymore. I was crying every single day, and I just became someone that I would have never imagined myself to become, and I didn't want to keep being. So
he wasn't giving you the things that you needed to in the relationship.
He bought everything, you know, he took me on trips and stuff, but mentally and emotionally, he wasn't. And I would never just say that about a guy not being mentally supportive, but it was really rough.
How did you find out about the cheating?
Like a burner account, it kept following you on Instagram. And I had the worst gut feeling ever. I was like, this burner account followed me, I need to follow back. So I kept pressing the request button until she probably had enough and accepted it. This was my last day of moving out of my apartment, and the account accepted. She's like, hey, are you dating da-da-da? I go, yes. She sent me screenshots of him asking to take her on a date the day that I was flying home to visit my family. And he came, helped me move my stuff out, and I told him, I go, I'm so done with this.
Did he beg for you to stay?
He did, and I didn't want to.
What's your age?
I'm 22.
All right.
How long was your last relationship?
All right, so my take on that one. Look, the thing is, I don't know because I wasn't in that relationship, but, you know, she says that she was well taken care of, but he wasn't there mentally well for her because he was controlling. Well, the thing is, you can't have your cake and eat it, right? If you want to be with a man who's going to take care of you, he's going to not want to... Look, there's a difference in controlling, right? Like, if you're going to set boundaries as a man and, you know, you don't want to dress in a certain way and you don't want to go into certain places, I think that's fair. I think... you know, if you're going to have the responsibility of taking care of a woman, you should also have the authority. However, if you're going to stop her from seeing family and, you know, and she's not going to become that better version of herself where she's not as happy and she's not as, like, you know, not bubbly, but, you know, there's no life in her, then that's not a good thing either. So I don't know exactly how that relationship was. It could have been either way. It could have been that she wanted to just be like, live like a single woman and he had his boundaries and... you know, she thought the grass was greener, or it could have been that he was actually, like, just getting the worst out of her, and you know, maybe like semi-bullying her, how she described it. But you can't really tell. But what I do know is, a lot of women, they say that that man drives them away from their friends. Well, look, it also depends on what kind of friends you have. If I meet a chick and she has 3 or 4 friends, I'd literally say to her, like, it's either your friends or me. Because I ain't going to have my chick having friends with 3 or 4s.
What's your age?
I'm 44.
And you? 50. How long have you been married?
23 years. We have 3 kids, still together, old school.
How do you even keep it together that long?
Keep it spicy.
Sparks. Keep it interesting. He likes that I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, maybe a little.
He does like that. If I wasn't crazy, he wouldn't like me.
When we say keep things spicy, do we mean bringing other people in, or?
God, no. I would murder him. He wouldn't even be alive. Nope, that's not spicy for me.
No.
You don't think he first struggled with temptation,
he's killing him.
You know how guys are in general.
I know how
but
they
no matter
think.
what.
And then I have to smack him in the face.
She'll keep a tight leash and make
Oh,
sure
that leash will be fucking hooked. But
Bruv, look, I'm not advocating for men cheating, but just the way she's going on about it, bruv, that is a red flag. Talking about like beating him up and look, the truth is, like going back to that other woman as well, majority of men who are successful do cheat. That is the truth. And you can turn around and say, well, does that mean that guys who are not successful don't cheat? Well, it's because they don't have the option to cheat. If they had the option to cheat, I'm sure they would. Anyway, next one.
What's your age?
33.
Are you single?
Engaged.
How long have you been with your fiance?
It'll be a year next month.
What changes with the ring?
Absolutely nothing, but it's a commitment that a woman needs to see from a man. So really just a gesture to show them, hey, I'm serious about you, I want you, and nobody else. That's all it is for them. Women seek security and safety. You could say I commit to you, but actions speak louder than words. So when you make that commitment with a ring, a gesture like that, they feel more safe and secure. They actually love them.
Did you feel a need to pull a prenup out in your scenario?
Absolutely. Not because of her, but because of the world that we live in. She comes from a very successful family. I have my success, and I don't want the courts to get involved in my shit. This doesn't mean that the prenup is a bad thing. Most people have no idea what a prenup is in the first place. A prenup is just an agreement between two people saying, hey, if X, Y, and Z happens, this is what will happen. It's not a bad thing or a good thing, just an agreement between two human beings without having the courts getting involved when shit hits the fan, if that happens, God forbid.
Worst case scenario, it ends in divorce. What are your fears?
You can't go into the relationship thinking you're gonna lose. You gotta go in with a winning mentality. I'm getting into this relationship to add value to this human being. I don't wanna take, I wanna give, and the more you have that kind of mindset, you're gonna win. It's a win-win mentality where you wanna help this individual become who they need to become, but you're not expecting a lot. You expect to give, and as a man, your job is to give, and as a woman, it's her job to receive. And if you can follow those dynamics, you usually end up winning.
What's your age?
33.
I think he had some positives and negatives. Guys, I don't advocate for getting married in the West. If you are going to get married in the West, you got to be very, very careful, man. Especially if you're a successful man, you got to be incredibly careful. But yeah, do you know what? Some of these clips were kind of dead. It's because it's the latest. Let me go to the most popular ones.
How long have you been together?
4.5 years.
No, 5 now.
Well, yeah, I guess 5 now.
5 years.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on her wedding ring?
I mean, show it. I mean, go ahead. It's a decent amount. So if you look up like a 3-carat diamond, it's a decent amount I spent on her. But she deserves even more.
Numbers-wise, when we talk...
Women deserve less. What's he talking about?
How much was it? 35K?
35K, yeah?
35K, yeah.
35,000 bucks. So he spent that much on a wedding ring for you as a gesture. What does he get in return?
I think I should answer that. So I get a partner that's loyal. I get the mother of my children. I get the most beautiful woman that I've ever, been around. And the most important thing is how she treats me and how she treats my family and how she treats her family. So for me, I have a partner for life, and it's worth every investment there is.
How long have you been together?
4.5
Fair enough.
years.
No, 5 now.
Well, yeah, I guess 5 now.
5 years.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 4.
I'm a woman. So what you saying?
I said women don't like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who
It's philosophical. Big up Illa.
who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. They rather deal with a man like, not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was, do you fuck with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
Okay, I'm
is
listening.
because if you fuck with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing
I
this,
respect that,
this
baby.
nasty
Let me answer
ass
that.
shit.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hose, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen.
I'm a woman. So what?
Big up Illa, spitting facts.
What's your age?
24, 22.
If I was your man, what would I need to pay for you?
Pay for it? Nothing.
So you're not expecting me to pay for dates if we went out?
Expect? I don't have expectations for
I also
anybody.
don't have expectations.
I do think it shows character.
Actions, yeah, definitely.
Bro, I found so many good clips before, and now it's...
And how old are you?
Alright,
So being that you're
cool.
engaged and you have a 2-year-old at 24, How much does your man need to make to have a sustainable living here in Miami?
For a family, you gotta for sure make at least 6 figures. And it's not about me, it's about statistics right now. Everything is so expensive.
All right, can we turn the camera back to me? All right, guys, so yeah, we went through a few of the clips, but you know what? I couldn't find any of the really good ones. I'm gonna have to single them out because I found them all on Instagram, but I guess on YouTube, it's like a whole different lineup on YouTube to Instagram. So I'm gonna have to find a few of the good ones. But yeah, guys, go check out his channel, great channel. That guy Illosophical who was spitting game, he actually interviewed him like about 6 months ago. Go on the Natural Effect podcast, go check out the interviews. Great interview between me and him. So, yeah, guys, next up, I'm going to react to a message that I got on Instagram, okay? So, on Instagram today, I posted up Myron Gaines' book, Why Women Deserve Less, right? And like I said before, I always get funny reactions. Women always get triggered. But this time, it was a man who got triggered, right? So, it's a guy who's been following me for a while. He normally likes a lot of my shit. But, you know, I guess he doesn't like the way I speak about women, etc. So let's go into the comment of what he said. He said, bro, you're so far from being in a position to give advice about women. You want a possession. You want a subordinate. You don't want an equal. You don't want a connection. I don't even think you like women, to be honest. I'd lean more to you actually hating them in terms of diet. You live such a healthy way, but your thinking is so toxic, man. All right. Kier Francis. And even though he went on a little bit of a crazy one, like he got a little bit personal because obviously he was upset by a few of the things I was saying. But okay, let me break it down to you, Kier. You're a young guy. I don't know, like, you said you're 30 years old, right? But to me, you clearly haven't had that much experience with women or even understand female nature. So if you're going to sit down and you think that women want an equal, want a partner, don't want a superior, you're going to find out the hard way, bro. And I know you turn around and you say, bro, I've got an elite girlfriend. Like, I've got a great girlfriend. Like, you told me, she's nearly 30, great girlfriend, which I don't see that. Like, a woman being nearly in 30, like, she might be a great girlfriend for you, but, like, in terms of, like, is she an elite woman? No, bro. Like, a woman past her prime's obviously not going to be an elite woman, in my opinion. However, just let's say she does all the right things and you found a good one. In the end, bro, like I told you on the messages, she's going to leave your ass. And I've called this many times in the past. I've called this out between people I know, friends, associates, etc. I know how things run with women. Yeah? So, women, guys, always want to date a superior. Go and ask any woman, get her alone, and she will tell you the truth. A woman only wants to date a guy who's stronger than her, taller than her, smarter than her, makes more finances than her, can teach her stuff. She doesn't want a guy that she has to motivate or go 50-50 with. Like, they might use the word partner, and I know a lot of guys use the word partner, but women don't want a partner, yeah? If women wanted a partner, then a lot of people would be in relationships. The facts are that there's not many leaders out there. There's not many men who, have their finances together, are fit in shape, understand female nature, are good looking, etc., etc. Majority of guys are losers, like we know. That's why women go for a small amount of percentage of men. Now, back to that comment. You want a possession? No, I don't want a possession. However, actually, do you know what? Fuck that shit. Yeah, my woman is my possession. If she wants me to take care of her, like, yeah, I'm going to make the rules in the house. If she turns around and says, I'm going for a walk at 9 p.m. To the gas station to grab something, I'm going to say to her, no, you're not. You're not going to the gas station. I'll drop you off and I'll pick you up. It's dangerous for you to be out there. So the thing is, if women want if women want a man to be responsible for them, then you have to give authority for that man. You can't give responsibility without authority. You give me the responsibility, but then you're not allowing me to control the situation, then it's not going to end very well, right? So, all right, we'll start off with that one. You want a subordinate? Yes, I do. I want a submissive woman who understands that a man is the head of the house and the woman comes after, and then it's the children. If you go to any religions, you know, you go to Judaism, you go to, you know, you're reading the Torah, you go to Islam in the Quran, you go to Christianity in the Bible, they all say that the man should be the head of the household. And I know some of you guys might be watching thinking, well, you know, religion's not a good way of thinking. Yes, it is. That's why things have come so degenerate over the last few years. The nuclear family is on the way down. Degeneracy is on the way up. Women are doing OnlyFans these days. Men are not the same leaders they once were. Women are complaining about men. Men are complaining about women. It's a whole mess. And this causes for lesser population. And the degeneracy, like I said, divorce, women being promiscuous, even men being promiscuous. You know, I was promiscuous in my life and it did give me some benefits, but I don't advocate for men to go out and be promiscuous for the rest of their lives. In fact, I found out in the long run that being promiscuous as a man doesn't really give you that much fulfillment. It just taught me who's a good woman and who's a slut. That's the truth. You don't want an equal. Duh, I don't want an equal. And nor does she, trust me. You don't want a connection. Well, does that mean because I'm the leader of the household and, you know, I control how things go that I don't want a connection? Is that how things work? Like, in fact, I think there's a better connection when I'm able to provide, when I'm able to be the protector, when I'm able to plan trips, when I'm able to be knowledgeable and teach her things. It's a way better connection, trust me. Kia, I hope you're watching this. I don't even think you like women, to be honest. Funny. The thing is, when women need a man to help them, whether it be a policeman, whether it be a man on the street, if they're being attacked, whether it be a fireman, it's funny to me, all the men that always help women, or the men that they kind of run to, are all kind of men like me. Men that you would call toxic, right? Hyper masculine. That's what happens. They don't go for these liberal kind of soft men to help them in those kind of situations. And if you want me to be honest with you, even liberal women, everything cool? Yeah. Even liberal women are not attracted to liberal men. I've seen this on TikTok. We've seen it on X, where liberal women are always complaining that they can't find a man, and all the men that they are attracted to all seem to be very conservative. So yeah. I have a mother, I have sisters in my life. I'd like to think you can even ask them. Even like my ex-girlfriend or even girls I've had around. I've helped a lot of females in my life become the better version of themselves. I've helped them in various different ways. I love women. Does it make me a misogynist, and does it make me hate women to call out bullshit that women do and keep them accountable? In fact, I would say that's more love for women. If I sat back and just allowed it, it would be worse, right? And, you know, it's not an easy job. And I'll probably, in the long run, I'm not going to benefit from it. I might get some viewers and people getting more red-pilled. But in the long run, I'm going to lose females from it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to lose viewers from it, talking the truth about females. So, yeah, I'd lean more to you actually hating them. No, Kia, I don't hate women. I just call out their bullshit and the truth. Yeah, you're obviously indoctrinated by feminism. It's clear to see by your whole views. Yeah, you've been indoctrinated. You're a male feminist, and I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna bite you in your ass in the long run. In terms of that, you live such a healthy way, but you're thinking it's so toxic, man. All right, cool. Which, you know, I did have a lot of guys actually respond to me and, you know, say, bro, this guy's fucking clueless, like he's going to find out the hard way. But, you know, Kiera, I hope you're watching this, because that is exactly what I told you, bro. Women are not like men, bro. Yeah? We are more unconditional than women. For us, it's all about, is she going to embarrass you? So make sure she's not a whore or has a past. Make sure she's attractive and has traditional qualities, especially for a leader, you know, for her to be able to cook, clean, be submissive, be quiet at the right times. And, you know, I know a lot of people are going to take this out of context. Oh, you want to just to zip her mouth and just... No. I want my woman to have character. But there's a place and a time for a woman to be conversational, to be conversating with you. And there's a time for her to be quiet and know that you need your peace at times. Or even say you're with your homies talking. You don't want your chick sitting there, you know, making the most conversation, etc. Like, that's not the kind of woman you want. That's masculine traits. So... Do we have an ashtray here as well? You know, grab me an ashtray. So yeah, Kier, I don't know if is he in the chat? Does anyone replied with any negative stuff? I don't think so. No? Kier, if you're not watching, we're gonna clip it up. It's gonna come out regardless. So yeah, man. So any guys out there that think that women want a partner and want an equal, further from the truth. And trust me, bro, neither do you. And let me explain to you why you don't as well. You guys really think, yeah, I'm 35 years old, yeah? You really think that I worked incredibly hard in my life. I come from nothing, you know? There've been times that I've been homeless. I had holes in my tracksuits. People used to make fun out of me in the hood. Yeah, you really think I put blood, sweat, and tears for a decade plus, yeah? Sacrifice times of going out, late nights, early mornings, losses, stabbings in the back by day ones and old school friends, building up knowledge and experience, whether it was through work or dating women. You think I've gone through all of this, yeah? And I'm gonna have a woman be equal to me, even though she expects me to provide, to protect, to lead her, to plan dates, to be mysterious, to be funny, to be assertive. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. What kind of fucking delusional world are you living in? If I'm gonna be the leader and I put all this work in becoming the man I am, it's going to be my way or the fucking highway, yeah? And let me tell you guys something. Women don't build, yeah? Women move in, firstly. And secondly, women are given their value up front, man. From the time a woman turns 18, if she's beautiful, she can go out there and bag a top-tier man, whether he's a millionaire, billionaire, makes 6 figures a year, attractive, etc. At 18 years old, a man can't do shit but work on himself. You're not getting invited to yachts. You're not getting invited to big parties with beautiful women. You have to, at 18 years old, go work on yourself, get in the gym, build up your finances, build up experiences where you're going to get turfed and you're going to get shut down by a lot of women, learn from those times to the point where you're going to be an established man. And in the end, you guys expect me and want me to think I'm equal to a woman. Like, what the fucking world are you living in? And look, yeah, maybe for you, bro, you might think you're equal to a woman. And, you know, I didn't really want to shit on you personally, because I do believe that, like, you know, we've had instances like this before. But in all respect, bro, you're not established as a man. You know, you're 30 years old, you're still broke. You turn around and you say to me, oh, in the field I am, it's really hard to make money. Then, bro, wake the fuck up. You're trying to make it in music and rap at 30 years old. You've got to have a backup plan. You've got to, in fact, put your rapping to be your backup plan. That's your hobby. You got to be able to make finances. And I don't know how attractive your woman is. I don't know how much of a submissive good girl she is. But I'm telling you, if you keep going that direction, you don't create finances and you think it's okay for a man to be a brokey, bro, she's going to leave your ass. Remember I said this, you're going to go back to and you're going to think, fuck, you know, that toxic man was right. Yeah, because I know how women think, bro, and I know how things turn out. So, yeah, I don't have to be in a relationship to be able to talk on having a successful relationship, because a man is not really judged by his relationship. Yes, in the end, for a man, I think it's incredibly important for us to go find a great woman or women, whether you want one woman or multiple, and build a great family or families. However, that's not the way. That's not the main way we are judged as a man. The main way we are judged is by the goals that we accomplish, and also, of course, the morals and ethics you have, but also what you accomplish in life. Money does make a difference. Conquering goals does make a difference. You know, especially if you go into a room amongst men. That's how we value each other. Within women, if you go into a room full of women, they value each other on who's the most beautiful, because they understand that the value of a woman is the man that she can attract and how beautiful she is. The value of a man isn't the best looking man in the room. Yeah, it's not the most athletic man, even though we do base a lot of things on being athletic and being strong, but it's who's the most accomplished. Yeah, and most times men will shut the fuck up and listen to the most accomplished man in the room. Listen to what he's got to say and learn from the situation. So yeah, Kier, that's my take on your comment that you dropped on me on Instagram. And just so you know, Kier, I don't get disqualified by women, so you understand. You can turn around and say, well, why don't you have a girlfriend? Well, I don't have a girlfriend because I'm incredibly picky. For example, no offense, but I would never wifey your girl. Like, first of all, she's way too old for me personally. I'm not going to date a girl, which I told you already. Like you're talking to me like you've got an elite girlfriend. Well, an elite girlfriend should be somewhat a virgin or even at least close to that. Maybe a couple guys she's been with in a relationship. So, you know, you told me you don't have that. So, you know, you're not in no position to judge. Like, I am in a position to actually find an elite girlfriend. And unfortunately, my bro, you kind of not. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's because of the place I put myself as a man. I'm just very picky. I expect certain things from a woman. I expect her to be traditional, just like I'm going to be traditional. She wants me to provide and protect. I want her to take care of the home, be able to cook, clean, and not come with a promiscuous past. It's very simple, bro. Anyway, we're going to move away from that message. What's that? Okay, what's the chat?
Somebody says, the guy says he's confused because he's had both types of girls. He says his ex was traditional and what you want out of a female, but she also cheated and was hiding.
Who, me? My ex?
No, this guy's talking about his experience. He said he had a traditional girl, but she was hiding.
Oh, yeah. What's his screen name? Scottish?
LWSDND.
All right, cool. I think that might be one of my Scottish boys. Well, that proves to you guys. Listen, guys, you have to vet women properly, man. How many women out here in LA I've had on the podcast? And, you know, it's not just LA. It's every major city. All over the West, whether you're in Australia, New Zealand, America, England, Canada, hoflation is fucking real. We've had girls on the podcast come on here, tell us they don't do sex work, act like they're innocent because women sell purity, and then they leave and we find out that they're sex workers, yeah? Women lie. Women lie to protect their purity because they understand as men, that's what we want. We want a pure woman, yeah? And, you know, a lot of the times they shame us and they try and you know, pull the Uno card, especially on me. Women turn around to me and say, well, how many women have you been with? You want me to be honest with you? I've been with hundreds. I don't fucking know at this point. It's many, many hundreds, at least more than 500, right? But guess what? Women do not judge me on how promiscuous I am. Why? Because biology and life understands that in the end, even though I've been a promiscuous man, that's not going to hurt my ability to go find a great woman and build a great family and lead us both to, you know, to greatness. However, if a woman's got a big body count and she's been through loads of men, every man that a woman goes through and she's not being taken seriously, she builds trauma. She builds trauma. And then she has a certain sense of how men are in her head. And then before you know it, she's a fucking 304. Guys, you got to vet women properly. Women are hiding who they are. I always advocate for men to go for a woman. You know, me, I'm 35. I would only date a woman in her early 20s or late teens. Why? Because I understand in the Western civilization that where we are now, that by the time a woman's in her mid-20s, bro, I've seen it a million times. She is fucking cooked, bro. And I'm telling you, 25 is old. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I'll go to Air One, right? I leave Air One. I'm in my car. I'm driving down Ventura Boulevard. And everything cool, Trev? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going down Ventura Boulevard. I look to my left, sunny day. I have some hot chick. She's at least a 7 out of 10, right? She's literally just like staring me down from the sidewalk, yeah? And she starts to wave at me. I'm like, oh, you know, look, I get female attention, but let's be honest, women rarely go up to guys or, you know, advance on guys. This girl was advancing on me. You know, she's sitting there on the sidewalk and she's like waving at me and, you know, smiling. And I didn't even notice her until, like, you know, she caught my attention. So, you know, most times, I'll be honest with you, bro, I've lost so much hope in dating women that I would have just driven off. But you know what? She was attractive. You know, she looked in my age range. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to pull over to the side, just talk to her, see what's going on, right? So I pull over. And, you know, guys learn some game from me as well. I jump out of my car. Guys, never stay in your car because it's a little bit, you know, it's more scary for a woman to walk up to a car, even if you have a nice car, there's no point flexing it. Hop out the car, walk up to her, introduce yourself. So I go up to her, introduce myself. We start talking. Persian chick, lives in LA. She's 20 years old, very attractive. And, you know, I got a sense there was something up with her. One, because she advanced on a man. Like, you know, I think most times when a woman advances on a man, there's like, you know, I don't know, it's a bit weird for a woman to be so confident, right? Women are normally very insecure. So women rarely go up to guys. You know, in fact, women have got terrible game. Even when they are interested in a guy, they give the worst signals. So, you know, I start talking to her. I take it down her number. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, there's something wrong with that girl, man. Like, yeah, she's not the one. But, you know, she's really attractive. And, you know, like I said, in my age range. So today she messages me and she's like, you know, I wanted to speak to you on the phone. I know you have high expectations of women. You told me that straight away. Like, bro, I ain't got no time to waste. I tell women from the get-go that majority of women are useless and I'm not interested in majority of women and I expect a certain type of woman. So she says to me, yeah, you know, I've been through a bit of trauma. I'd want to like explain to you what's like what I've been through. Already when I hear trauma and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is an L, bro. Like, this is not a girl I'm interested in. Anyway, so she goes to me, can you call me up? I call her up. We're talking on the phone. She's like, yeah, she's working on some like cancelling and she goes through some classes at the moment where, you know, she does some cancelling because she's been through trauma. Her ex-boyfriend was a sexual abuser. Now, for me, I'll be honest with you, guys, that's a red flag for me. Like, you're being sexually abused by your boyfriend. So, you know, most men won't even question it. You know, most men are simps. Like, oh, that's so horrible. Like, oh, he must have been a nasty guy. Like, nah, bruv. Accountability for women. So I'll turn around and I'll say, well, how the fuck did you end up in a relationship with him and you didn't leave him? And also, why was he sexually abusing you? Like, did he sexually assault you? And she goes, yeah, like he RAPE'd her, yeah? So I'll turn around and I'll say, well, that's a bit weird. Like, I think it's very weird when I hear situations of men being in relationships with women and they sexually assault them. Like, weren't you giving it up to him? She goes, no, I wasn't because he wasn't doing his job properly. Bro, when are we going to keep women accountable? At that point, why do you not just leave? Leave the fucking relationship. Why the fuck are you in the relationship? He ain't doing his job properly. You ain't giving him no sex. The whole relationship is an L, bro. Like, and I'm not turning around and saying like men should obviously never, like you should never sexually assault. Like if I was in a relationship and my woman turned around and said to me once that she don't want to fuck me, bro, I'm out. I'm out. Like the only reason she can give me is, you know, like if someone passed away, obviously I'd be understanding if someone close to her passed away, or, you know, if she was like having like health issues where she had like a major migraine or, you know, like, you know, she was going through something like health-wise, yeah, you'd obviously understand. But any other reason, I'm like, nah, bruv, like that's an L. Like, I bring so much to the relationship. Men don't ask for much, yeah? And pussy's one of the main things we ask for. So if you can't give me that on the plate, then that's an L. So yeah, like I kind of like said that to her. But in my head, I never ask women their body counts, guys. Never. And I'll tell you guys, never ask a woman her body count. I can get away with it sometimes because how blunt I am and maybe the position I am in life. But in general, you don't want to ask a woman her body count, even if she's a good girl. You know, a lot of them are like, oh, you're judgmental or whatnot, you know, which they shouldn't be like that. But yeah, like I said, don't ask a woman her body count. However, what did I do? I'm like, bro, I ain't going to sit here wasting time with this girl. But also, at that point, I already had in my mind that like this girl is not for me, bro. Like this girl's an L. Like she already didn't have a father in her life. She's been through sexually abused, traumatic relationships. I could just tell like this girl was an L. At that point, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even give a fuck whether she liked me or not, even though she was still interested in me. I wasn't interested in her. So I turned around to her and I said to her, you know, just tell me straight up. Her name, she's like, fuck it, I'll bait her up. She's got the same name as me as well. Her name was Nikki. So I turned around and said, so Nikki, so how many guys have you actually slept with? A 20-year-old right now, yeah? A 20-year-old woman. Really good looking as well. Like, for me to say a girl's a 7 out of 10, like, all right, cool, she might have been a 6.5. Like, bro, I'm brutal when it comes to ratings, yeah? You know, remember, guys, 5 is average. 5 doesn't mean that the girl is ugly. 5 is just average. 6 is attractive. 7 is very attractive. 8 is goddamn gorgeous. 9 is near enough perfect. 10 don't exist, yeah? So I asked her how many men she slept with. Could you guys guess how many men she told me? And imagine for a woman to tell you a number, you got to go back to what Finch said. Was it Finch who said it? It was from American Pie, remember, right? The whole, like, you got to times it by 2 and take away 3. Well, something along those lines. Well, I don't know exactly if there's a formula for it, but let's be honest. Like I said before, women lie about their purity. So if she tells you she slept with 3 men, that's more than likely 5, 6 men. If she told you she slept with 5 men, it's more than likely closer to 10. Bro, this 20-year-old told me she slept with 10 guys. Now, when she told me she slept with 10 guys, I said, hey, yeah, you know what? Like, you was right. Like, we ain't, like, nah, you ain't the woman for me, honestly. Like, I expect a traditional woman. 10 is wild. She goes to me, what, do you think 10 is bad? Bro, like, is it just me, bro? Like, am I insane? Like, at 20 years old for a woman to sleep with 10 guys.
20.
And she's like telling me like it's not that bad. So imagine, bro, she's realistically slept with 20 guys, right? 15 to 20 guys. And when I said that to her, she didn't even deny it. I said to her, well, we know women lie. If you told me you slept with 10 guys, you probably slept with close to 15, 20. Like, that is wild for me. As a 20-year-old, bruv, you fucked a man for every year since you was born. That's crazy. Wild work. Like, you've been 18 for you've been 18, 19, and 20, 3 years, say, right? And you slept with close to 20 guys more than likely. Could have been more, honestly. So, yeah, man, we're cooked, bro. And that's why I don't want to hear anybody shaming me or talking shit about me going for younger women. Because even the younger women you go for are fucking cooked, yeah? And, you know, you can turn around and say, yeah, but, you know, there's women who are 25 and 30 who've only slept with a few guys. Bro, majority of those girls, there's a reason that they're still single, yeah? A great wife is always found. Remember that saying. A great wife is always found, yeah? So, like, if you're 25, 30, and say you're a fucking virgin. Let's say you're a virgin at 25, 30. I've got to turn around and fucking question you. Why the fuck haven't you found a great man for all those years to settle down and have a family with? You obviously have bad traits. You obviously maybe you don't cook, don't clean, not submissive, you know, don't let a man take lead, etc. So yeah, man, that was my personal experience from yesterday. And next up, and it kind of shows the whole mind frame of how women think these days. I'm gonna play a clip now from the laptop. It's a girl called Savannah Stone. I've actually seen this girl. I've seen this girl on Fresh and Fit previously. I remember me and my cousin watching her, and we were actually impressed. She had a lot of great takes. And so this is a young woman, Savannah Stone, and she goes on the Whatever podcast, which, like I said, I've seen her on Fresh and Fit before, but she goes on the Whatever podcast, and she's literally shamed by a group of 304s. For people who don't know what 304s are, put it on the calculator, upside down. Basically, another word, whores, right? So, yeah. We had a bunch of whores on the Whatever podcast shaming a woman for having a family. Literally. Let's watch the clip.
I've had a drink
Your 20-year-old husband who married you when you were 17 has also drank with you. Grooming. Hello.
That's not what
Babe,
you're talking about.
No, you have been groomed, and I feel.
Bro, and big up Andrew Wilson, bro. Andrew Wilson's always cooking up these hoes on the Whatever podcast, man. Always cooking them up.
Like, you don't even realize it.
I think you're drunk out your mind.
Oh, I'm so.
I don't think
I'm highly inebriated.
I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna yell or argue with you.
Am I yelling?
You take.
I'm gonna argue.
I'm not gonna drink the whole.
What do you mean she was groomed? Are you happily married, ma'am?
I'm happily married. I just turned 18 and she thinks I was.
Andrew, I know that you're all for age gaps, but
Shush OnlyFans hook.
Listen, you have sex. Wait, Ethan, stop. You have sex workers telling a woman who's more than likely probably lost her virginity to her man. Bro, this is insane. What fucking world are we living in? Bro, you're a hooker, bro. You sat on the whatever podcast sucking a fucking lolly. Yeah? On a fucking public podcast.
you know she got married when she was 17 to a 20-year-old.
Stop talking, lady. To the nice girl in the back from the entire Crucible, congratulations. I'm very happy.
Congratulations on getting married while you were a teenager to an adult. Congratulations.
I can't even hear what he's saying.
Oh, because I'm so inebriated and drunk. I think you've been very privileged and you don't understand other individuals.
She's privileged. Oh, she's privileged.
Yeah, no, she's
So privileged.
Well, but here's the thing, to the girl in the back in the center who was talking, I had a couple of questions. You and your husband, you got married 18, you're 19 years old, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys have a nice honeymoon?
No, we're like kind of unconventional. We got eloped like 3 days after getting engaged. We haven't done a honeymoon yet just because we're saving up for that later in the future. Like our priority is having kids and buying a house. So that's not really.
Yeah. Are you religious?
I am. I'm Christian.
Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that why you got married, you know?
Yeah, I would say that's the main reason for sure. Like, I don't think that there's really any reason to date.
Well, I want to show this chick what privilege actually looks like. So the Crucible is going to send you $3,000 so that you and your husband can go on a honeymoon. You can go.
Hey, look at that girl. She's hating. She's burning. Big up to Andrew, man.
Was that she's happily married and you can't fucking stand it. Fuck you.
I never said that.
Yes, bro.
I never said that. You weren't here from the first portion.
And this is what it is, guys. Whores are triggered by good women. Good women who get into relationships with great men. Women who are whores or left over. Especially, like, you guys have seen it on my podcast. Women who are left over in their late 20s, early 30s. No one wants them no more. Single mothers, fucking sex workers. All these women, they despise women who are good women. They despise them.
Arguments. Do your air horns, Brian.
Oh shit. What happened there?
I've had a drink
Your
before.
20-year-old cut.
Thinks I was.
Andrew, I know that you're very privileged and you don't understand.
Well, that's the clip.
Are you religious?
All right, cool. So yeah, that's the clip. So yeah, big up Andrew on sending that $3,000 for the honeymoon. But yeah, guys, like it's wild to me, and I've seen this constantly on all different podcasts. You know, when a girl's a good girl, they call her a pick me. They start laughing at her, making fun out of her. Meanwhile, let's be honest, most of these sex workers and most of these women who are left over, they cry themselves to sleep. We know this, man. We've had girls who are in porn, girls who are OnlyFans girls admit that they cry themselves to sleep because it bites you in your back. Fast money, whether it's for men or women, but especially for women, fast money comes with slow problems. And OnlyFans, all the women doing OnlyFans, you know, they're cooked, bro. They're really cooked. And I know a lot of them who are young think, yeah, I'm only going to do this for a year or 2 or 3, and I'm going to go find a great man. Nah, bruv. No great man who's worked on himself, respects himself, values himself is ever going to date you. Like, no, simple. Anyway, so yeah, big up Andrew Wilson on that, and big up that Savannah Stone girl, man, because she keeps cooking all the girls going around to all the podcasts as well. And yeah, next up, we have, oh shit, got the ash everywhere. Fuck's sake. Next up, we're going to talk about the Tate situation. So, from my understanding, let's try and find a clip. So, the Tate brothers got the charges today. Tate brothers. Okay, let's play that. All right.
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have been charged with rape in the UK. The Crown Prosecution Service says Andrew Tate faces 10 charges in total, including human trafficking, bodily harm, and prostitution offenses relating to 3 women. His brother Tristan is charged with 11 offenses relating to 1 woman. The charge came after prosecutors received evidence from Bedfordshire police regarding the allegations. UK charges are in addition to ones that the brothers already face in Romania, and they must be settled first before they can be extradited. The Tate brothers have always denied the allegations against them. Andrew.
All right, so you guys are probably thinking, what do I think of this situation? Well, I obviously know that Tristan and Andrew ain't no, sexual assaulters and all that. And you guys were talking, well, do you know them personally? No, motherfuckers, but I know how guys who do grape and who sexually assault women look like. I also know majority of those guys are incels. Majority of those guys don't have many women around them. Mothers, sisters, girlfriends, wives, etc. Now, what you guys might turn around and say, well, why are they going for Andrew? Why are they going for Tristan that much? I'll tell you guys straight why they're going for them that much. One, they embarrassed the UK government, which is one of the main reasons, right? The BBC interviews, talking about the UK being a failure, failed nation, etc. They obviously are hating on Andrew for talking all this shit about the UK, talking about the royal family, all of that shit. However, the main reason I believe why they don't like Andrew is because he's anti-Israel. We've seen from anyone who's very anti-Israel, they get shut down, whether it's Dan Bilzerian, Candace Owens, Andrew Tate, and the list goes on. So I believe that's why they're trying to tarnish Andrew's name and take him down, because, it's a guy who's got multi-millions. I don't know how rich he is. Like, some people say he's close to $1 billion. He's obviously in great shape. He obviously gets a lot of females. Most men would like to be in his position. And what I've noticed is great men trigger also weak men. Just as I said before, that whores are triggered by good women, it's the same with men as well. Weak men are triggered by great men. So a lot of times when a man's doing really well in his life, I find inspiration from that. I might use him as a mentor, but I use it as inspiration. I'm like, yeah, bro, he's smashed it. He's doing great. It doesn't mean I have to be or want to be exactly how they are, but I take the positives and I leave whatever I don't want, right? Do I agree with everything Andrew says? No. Do I want to live my life exactly how Andrew lives his life? No. However, it's obvious that he has great morals, great ethics, has done great in his life, has a bunch of women around him who are pretty women. He has a families. His mum respects him. He had a good relationship with his father, has a great relationship with his brother. Like, all of that stuff, like, you can see and it's pretty clear, right? So all the guys who are coming around and, calling him a rapist and saying that he's definitely guilty. Majority of you guys just lack in loads of departments of your life. So you want to just shame a man who's doing great in his life. You might get triggered by his lovely cars, his women, his big house. Me, I find inspiration from that. These charges are coming from 2012. It's funny to me that they can find charges from 2012 for Andrew Tate and Tristan, but they can't open the Epstein files. Prince Andrew, they shut that down, even though there was clear evidence. But, Andrew Tate's definitely a rapist from 2012. Guys, do you know what rapists look like? Rapists and guys who are nonces, they look like Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew, you look like a nonce. You literally look like a nonce. If you type in the word, I don't even want to say that, P-E-D-O, and then you type in all of those and just type in on Google, you're going to see not many of them look like Andrew. Not many of them look like all these red pill guys, these masculine men. Majority of them look like Prince Andrew. They look weird. They don't look like they can get any females. And, as men, we understand a guy who does sexual assault and who doesn't. Does that mean that, there aren't men out there who can get girls who do sexual assault? Of course there is. There's always like small minorities in everything, right? But in general, yeah, rapists and guys who do sexual assault do not look like Tristan or Andrew. That's my take on it. For years now, they've been trying to take him down, whether it was Romania, America, England, all these different types of women. They even got caught paying their actual current women thousands to go out and say fake stories about them. And, a lot of their women were loyal to them and, baited up the governments for doing it. So that's my take on the whole Andrew and Tristan thing. I don't obviously believe it. there's no reason for them to. You know, most times guys who do those kind of things, it's because they're either sick in the head, they have mental like they're incapable mentally, like they're mentally deranged, or they're literally incels, which honestly I think probably make you mentally deranged in the end. So yeah, that's my take on it. All right, getting a little hot in here, so taking off the hoodie. Gonna have a lot of these Nature Boys hoodies going up on the website next month. So yeah, we're gonna drop a lot of merch. But I'm gonna finish off the review. And I know Trev gets pissed off when I go in and out of things. He's like, bro, just fucking kill one thing and then go on to the next. Because it obviously makes things harder for Trev and Taj, who do an epic job for me. Literally killing it right now. And, you know, it's only right that I keep producing more, and you know, as a team we keep elevating and getting up that YouTube ladder, that content ladder. So I'm gonna finish off the review. So like I told you guys before, the Firebelly Toad, which is the Ziki guy cross the Toad Venom. Honestly, did get me stoned as well. So the high on it's good, the ash on it was great, and honestly, I didn't say because I was talking at the time, but the flavor was incredible. I'm gonna spark it up one more time before I give the last reviews. You see, yesterday I did the review on the cookies by John Doe Supply. And for me, that, it's like, I couldn't really see the Z and the cookies in it. I'm still even debating whether there was even any Z or cookies in it. But when I smoke this, I know for sure 110% this is half Z, half Toad Venom. I can taste it. I can see it. I can smell it. It's a beautiful smoke, honestly, it really is. So, it's time for the ratings. Packaging. This packaging's incredible, man. You know what? It could be one of the best yet. I'm going to give the packaging a 9.6 out of 10. The look on the flower. The look on the flower looked like a perfect cross of what they were. Well manicured nugs. Fresh. Light green, orange hairs, trichomes. I'd say the look on the flower is a 9.7 out of 10. Smell on the flower. Literally smelled like a Z. It smelled like Z, and then I pinched it a little bit, and then it smelled like Toad Venom. Elite. The smell on it, 9.8 out of 10. The burn. The burn on it. Look at it, white ash. Nice oil ring, even. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even roll this joint that elite, and it's burning very well. So I'd say the burn on it is a 9.4 out of 10. Next up, we have the taste. The taste on the Firebelly Toad, I'd give the taste a 9.8 out of 10. It's lovely. I wish I had like a P of this, man. I'd smoke the shit through it. So you guys know I love Toad, you know I love Z. It's a perfect mix. So yeah, 9.8 for the taste. And for the high, considering it's got Z in it, it did get me pretty stoned. And you know, you guys can see I'm starting to lose my wording a little bit. My eyes might be shutting a little bit. So yeah, I'd give the high a 9.4 out of 10, especially it being a Z cross, you know. So overall for the Firebelly Toad, it's probably the highest rating so far. Maybe I'm not sure what's the highest rating we've given, but I'm gonna give the Firebelly Toad a 9.6 out of 10. Fucking lovely, incredible. All right.
All the Toad stuff is done really well, huh?
What's that?
All the Toad stuff is kind of been...
Yeah. The Hash Tribe guys, the Kush Clinic, the guys who do the Toad Venom and the Ziki guy, the Zuyaki. You remember that dog? Yeah. So, yeah, man, all their stuff is, majority of the time, 9 times out of 10 is proper. You know, like I said, I've had a few bad things. Like I had the pineapple twist, which I wasn't a fan of, and it was a terrible batch. But in general, their stuff is incredible. And like I said, guys, if you're following a cannabis brand, if you're frying, a flour brand and you think that they always should be great, like, they're always going to be on point, and, that one time that they're not, you're going to shit on them. Bro, you don't understand flour, And I get it. Maybe the QC could be a little better, but, it's not always going to be the same. It's a fucking plant. It's nature. It's not a fucking machine. It's not in a factory. Maybe a cannabis factory, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to come off the Andrew Tate stuff, and we're going to go to Russia vs Ukraine. So, okay, so they did a prisoner swap today, which I guess it is positive news, right? I guess that's a little forward movement, the fact that they swap prisoners.
A live look over Moscow there in Russia as tensions between the U.S. and Russia appear to be escalating dramatically. A Russian official talking about the possibility of World War III. Fox's Doug Luzader joining us now live. Doug, good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, can you break down the actual
Guys, my hair's going to look like that in literally like 5 years.
Text here of the statement that was made and really
yeah, the guy with white hair, yeah.
Well, we've had now on the part of the White House to get Russia to the negotiating table. Thus far, it really hasn't worked in terms of brokering a ceasefire agreement. There's clearly frustration on the part of the Trump administration. That has been mirrored with a pretty brisk response from the Kremlin. So where it goes from here isn't clear. The White House indicates that the president is considering all of his options, which may include sanctions levied on Russia. There has been a report out of the Kyiv Post that the president may consider lifting some of the range restrictions on the weapons we have given to Russia, and the weapons we have given to Ukraine. And at the same time, you have this pressure building from Congress to ramp up sanctions. And that looks like it's shaping up to be a veto-proof majority in the Senate that would back some kind of additional response from the White House. So everyone's kind of waiting to see exactly how the president and the White House responds through the course of this week.
And that's what I was going to ask you. The statement coming out.
All right, so guys, you guys know I'm into my politics. My whole take on this, I've said it for a while, right? I never want war, never want to see war, innocent people dying, inflation goes up, mainly innocent people dying, obviously, whether people are, even people where they come from the country of the oppressors, still there's a lot of innocent people that die in both sides of war. So yeah, I'm not an advocate for war. However, I do understand Putin's side. I do understand the way he's thinking, because if you go and do your research, once upon a time, Ukraine was Russia. And it was Russia that gave Ukraine their independence, a lot of their culture, a lot of protection, a lot of investment. And I think the Democrats, the American Democrats and NATO pretty much fucked Ukraine over. They knew that Ukraine was never going to win this war. But I think they've done it to lower the resources of Russia down. And also, war provides resources for the elite, right? More arms are sold. They love the population deduction as well. So yeah, that's my take on what's happened. But a lot of people are like always on the Ukraine side and think like Russia's some mass terrorist. And listen, guys, if you do your research actually deeper into it, like Zelensky sold out his people, man. Zelensky's sold out his people for money, and he's literally the reason why Ukraine's in the position they are right now. So people ask me, well, what should they have done? They should never have joined NATO. Putin and the government, even before Putin, always told Ukraine they can never join NATO. And there's plenty of reasons for that. One, they're a neighboring country. Like I said, they put a lot of investment into it. They share a lot of the same culture. Even like one of the members of our team, he's Ukrainian. His wife's Russian. I know loads of Ukrainians and Russians who chill with each other, hang out with each other, married to each other, etc. So, yeah, man, that's what my take is on the Ukraine-Russia war. But recently, I thought that Trump was going to come in and try and, wrap up the war and end it. But it looks like right now, Ukraine put another hit on Putin. I think they tried to take down a helicopter that he was in. And you know what Putin's like. Putin's not going to have this, and Putin's going to go deeper and deeper into war, I think, right now. And can you really blame him, even though we don't want to see it happen? So, yeah, that's my take on the Ukraine-Russia war. I'm also rolling up the Snowman right now, just so, you know, at the end, it doesn't take me ages for me to roll it and we keep it flowing. Does anyone want any of the Firebelly Toad? I suggest you lot all smoke it, innit? I don't even want it back, but it's fire. You don't have a toke of it each or something, just like, not just a toke, I'm saying like, enjoy it, but fucking make sure you lot have at least a toke, because it's definitely very flavorful. Yeah, it's fire.
Better than the regular one?
The regular Toad?
Yeah.
Like, I love the Toad because it's very different to like a Z or something, and it kind of reminds me of like, like a cheese cross, honestly, a little bit. I don't know, it's weird. Not really, like a gassy, like, and it's like, I feel like Toad Venom's got its own like uniqueness to it, but this, you can literally taste like it's like a Toad cross a Z.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, that's what it is. I can tell 100% it's what it is. Even if you smell the nugs, like, it smells exactly like Skittles. Look, do you want to see it? Yeah, give that to Austin. So, all right, cool. So we've covered pretty much a lot today. I don't know if you guys saw as well, Obama and Usher was at the Diddy parties. I don't really want to cover too much about it. You know, it's not really something I'm too interested in. And even in the future, I'll be honest with you, I don't mind politics, but we also know that politics is controlled to a certain extent, you know. So in the future, I want to go deeper into like more deeper stuff, like more meaningful truths of the world and stuff that they don't want you to know. But a lot of it is going to be just strictly on Rumble. So guys, make sure you're following me on Rumble too. Rumble will be posting the stuff that we can't post on YouTube. Even though, big up to YouTube, as of recent, it seems to me that they're becoming more lenient with their content. And yeah, talking of lenient, I don't know if you guys saw. So the Arsenal kitman, some old guy, what's his name? Let me get it up. Arsenal kitman. All right, cool. Here he is. Former Arsenal employee challenges dismissal over Palestine support. So,
my name is Mark Bonnick.
Mark Bonnick, that's it. It's nice and it's banging. Did Taj have some? What do you think, brother?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that shit gives me asthma, but it's alright. That's not too much flour. That's why you be breathing heavy, huh?
All right, cool. So, guys, this is a video from the Arsenal kitman, and this is what he's got to say. Ready? Switch it.
And I was fired by Arsenal Football Club for speaking up for Palestine.
Right.
My name is Mark Bonnick, and I was fired by Arsenal Football Club for speaking up for Palestine. I've been at Arsenal since 2001-2002 season as a casual and ended up as a full-time kit man until 2024. So I did 22 years at Arsenal. I've been speaking on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, which I've been doing for years, since probably 2014 when I first opened up my Twitter account. Obviously been called anti-Semitic sometimes, and I swear, because I never was. A guy came on called Never Again, accused me of being a neo-Nazi, then found out where I worked, told everybody on the thread that I worked at Arsenal, and then there was a pile on me. It was cyberbullying. He told me what he was going to do. He was going to go to the FA, the police, the club, and tell them I was anti-Semitic, which he duly did. It got into all the papers, and he quite brazenly boasted about making me famous. The investigation found there was no anti-Semitism. They found that I'd gross misconduct, I'd brought the club into disrepute, basically being offensive and inflammatory. A lot of the people that suddenly became offended weren't offended by what I'd said or told me they were offended until they were told to be offended. I'm worried what people think of me. Do they think I'm some racist or anti-Semitic? And, you know, you get banter from the boys on the building. I've had to go onto a building site, and as a labourer, I'm fortunate enough that a friend of mine has given me work. But
Fucked up.
I'm a little bit old to be labouring. I won't be able to keep this up. I could have worked till I'm 70 at Arsenal as a kitman, which I'd planned to do. Now, I'm obviously struggling work-wise as a labourer. Football-wise, I don't go as to many games as I used to. I've sort of fallen out of love with it a little bit because of what's gone on. I don't regret speaking out about Palestine. I've never regretted it. And I would, you know, I came off it to basically, I think, to protect Arsenal, to protect them from things, and it didn't work that way. The guy got it in the paper. I've struggled to see how Israel's still allowed to compete in international sport. We have
So true.
South Africa that got kicked out for apartheid, yet Israel continues. Russia for illegally invading Ukraine, but it appears it's okay to invade your neighbours and steal their houses. I think not just Palestine, it was humanity to talk out when things are wrong. You've got to speak out. You have to speak out when things are wrong. You know, and it's, you know, silence. You know, people go, oh, everybody was silent over this. And then when you talk out, they don't want you to talk out.
Yeah.
It's offensive to murder people. It's offensive to stab people. Apartheid's offensive. But, you know, we spoke out against South Africa. Why should we not speak out against Israel? I'm the youngest of 6 kids. I lived in a 3-bedroom council house. We were taught to stand up to bullies and look after the little people. I think this is where that comes from. I think standing up for Palestine is part of where it comes from. Don't like bullies. Don't like injustice. By taking Arsenal to court, I'd like to achieve, obviously, stability, recognition that they were wrong, the clearing of my name, and also the fact that other people will realise they can speak out, and Arsenal or the cyber bullies never again ain't going to bully them and will listen to what's said. And they can make a fair and honest judgment on it. My message to Arsenal Football Club would be to the fans. It would be speak out. Arsenal want us to speak out about knife crime, kick it out, no more racism. But they don't want you to talk about Israel and what's going on there. Speak out.
All right, guys. So you watched that. All right, let's find out something quickly. Oh shit! One sec. Oh. All right, cool. So yeah, guys, you watched that. Fuckery, completely fuckery. Like, the guy's just an older guy, spoke the truth. And let's be honest with you, let's flip it the other way around. Let's say that he was being very pro-Israel and, you know, he was turning around and saying, yeah, fuck Palestine, terrorists, fuck them, all of that. Say he was saying all of that. Do you think he would have lost his job? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. But yeah. Also, while we're on football, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Mourinho is advocating for the African players, and he's actually calling out for a ban. He wants a ban amongst all the African players playing for their European, the European nationalities or where they move to. So, for example, if you look at the French squad, right? I don't think they even have one French starting lineup, one true French guy in the starting lineup. Obviously, in England, we do have more Englishmen in our squad. But if you look at through Europe, a lot of the European clubs are literally just Africa, right? So, yeah, he said he wants to see he wants to see the African clubs hold on to their players. And obviously it's great for the African nations, right? Imagine teams like Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana. They're going to be elite. That's the truth. They're going to be elite. So Mourinho, and I think Mourinho advocated for it as well because he had a lot of Africans playing under him who actually stayed African as well. So you guys are probably thinking, well, who? Well, do you remember Eto'o? Eto'o was one of them, and Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba played for Ivory Coast, right? And I'm pretty sure he could have played for what country was he from? I'm pretty sure it was France. So Didier Drogba could have played for France, but he played for Ivory Coast instead. So yeah, he's just advocating for the Mourinho's just advocating for the African players to stay at their African nations and play for their African teams, and they're going to be a problem if that happens. So guys, I've pretty much covered a lot today. I'm going to wrap it up with one more review. While I do the review, I'm going to talk to you guys about AI, something I wanted to cover today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I haven't given you guys a long stream. We can actually go back on the desirable truth and find some good clips and respond to them while we do that. But yeah, a lot of the future streams are going to be a lot more planned out. Right now, I'm kind of just freestyling it, writing down a few topics. One sec. All right.
This relationship and you're 42. Is this relationship leading towards marriage, or is it just for the long haul?
I would hope it is, because yeah, I do love him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm proposing to her soon.
But when it comes on to proposal,
All right, before we start that off, actually, let me go through the big smoke quickly. So, Snowman is OG cross cookies. Snowman was made by. You know what? I'm pretty sure it was Pie Guy. I know it was someone from the Cookies family back in the day. You know, when I got involved in this industry, obviously Burner was a big inspiration for me. Not the reason I got into the industry. I got in the industry way before I even knew who Burner was. But as I got deeper into it, especially when I started coming to California, Burner was definitely a big inspiration for me. And his crew who were growing was the Cookie family. So who created the strain Snowman? One developed by Burners and one by Emerald Family Farms. So yeah, like it's saying Burner, but it obviously wasn't Burner himself. I'm pretty sure it was maybe like Pie Guy. It could have been bro, I'm having a brain fart. What's the Chinese guy called? The Asian dude. All right, the Cookie family. All right, cool. What was his name, man? Forgot his blood clot name. Jigger? No. Anyway, I'll remember. But I think it was Pie Guy anyway. I'm pretty sure it was Pie Guy who created the Snowman. I could be wrong. If there's anyone in the chat who knows. But yeah, so the Snowman is a cookies cross an OG. And here I can see the brand is like Big Smoke bags. Honestly, I've never had them before. Like, it's the first time I've had anything from them. However, packaging is epic. Only thing is, it does give me that Christmas feel. Tell me if it gives you guys that Christmas feel. Look at that. It's got like a snowman on it. A snowman wearing like a chain with money, looking all rich. And then it's got Big Smoke one at the top. Big Smoke bags, the Instagram, indoor soil grown. And yeah, I like the packaging. It's simple, it's nice and neat. I think it's clean, I like it. So yeah, I like the packaging. I think it could be clearer what is the brand, but I'm guessing the brand is Big Smoke bags. I don't really like the name of the brand, if you want me to be completely honest with you. I think the brand's name's kind of Big Smoke bags. I don't know. But yeah, love the packaging. And let's get into it. So Like I said, it's a cookies cross an OG. We have a massive nug right here. From the outside, it kind of looks like Mac. If I had to like judge from here and say what strain it is, I would have said it was Mac. It's got like that, almost like a, in between like an OG look and like a Mac look, like a little bit yellowy. All right, cool. So yeah, it doesn't smell like Mac. Thank God. It smells like gas. It smells like an OG. I can actually smell maybe a little bit of Cooks to it. One sec. But definitely more OG. I'm definitely getting a lot of gas. Yeah, OG Kush mainly, but yeah, Snowman smelling fire. I don't know if I'm getting any looks or smell of the cookies really. But you know what? At the same time, I can smell something different in there. It's not like I'm smelling like a straight OG. There's definitely something different, but can't really smell the cookies. But yeah, it smells fire, smells very gassy, lovely looking nug. But now, let's spark up and see how she tastes and burns. We've got a fat rocket right here of the Snowman. And I'm happy I'm ending the stream after this because, yeah, after this I wouldn't be able to conversate too much. I would, but I'll be mixing up my words. Okay. Sparking up that Snowman. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's different. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? I can tell this one's going to be very, very powerful, man. I've got to save this for a night time. And I don't even think I should finish the joint. I think I should have a few pulls on it. Give the review. And put it down. So, we're going to start off with the packaging first, right? For the Big Smoke Bags Snowman. I love the packaging. Very clean. However, the only negative I'd say is it just gives me that Christmas feel. And we're in the middle of summer. So, yeah, I like it. It's simple. I love the text. Honestly, the text gives me like a little bit of a Christmas feel, but like a snowman feel. But yeah, I guess it's very difficult for you to be able to bring out a strain called Snowman, put a snowman on it and not make it Christmassy, right? Like he hasn't put no red on it or nothing like that, or green, which gives you that Christmas feel. It's black on black, white, black and white, nice and simple. But no matter what, it does give me that Christmas feel. Nevertheless, love the packaging. I'd give the packaging, I'd give it an 8.8 out of 10. Next up, we have the look. The look on the flower. Look at that beautiful, massive nug. So yeah, covered in trichomes, like absolutely covered in trichomes. I can tell this will be a high percentage nug of THC. That would be cool, actually. In the future, maybe we can start doing like I'll actually get a serious kit to start testing THC. Or maybe terps, I don't know. But yeah, okay, so the look on the nug, I'll give the look on the nug an 8.6 out of 10. It's beautiful, nice formation, nice structure. However, it's a little bit yellowy looking. Like, I think it's just to do with the strain. But, you know, I think OG sometimes has that tint. And it kind of looks a little bit like Mac. So, yeah, I'll give it an 8.8 out of 10 for the look. The smell. The smell, fire. Smells like it's got something different about her. But I can smell the OG, like, predominantly. So, I'll give the smell a 9 out of 10. Next up, we have the burn. The burn on the Snowman, as you guys can see here, pretty much perfect, right? And for it to burn like this from the get-go, very smooth. I can tell it's such a hard hitter when it comes to stoners as well. And I'll find like to have an even stronger, to have a stronger strain and to keep it clean, the white ash, the oil ring, the smoothness on the inhale and the exhale. It's elite. I'm happy with this. Definitely happy with it. I'd say the burn is like a 9.4 out of 10. Pretty much perfect. Right, you know what? 9.6 out of 10. Next up, we have the flavor. So the flavor on the Snowman. Mainly OG, but can taste something different. Clean. Yeah, I'll give the flavor a 9.4 out of 10. So overall, guys, for the Snowman by Big Smoke Bags, I'm going to give it a 9.4. Do you know what? A 9.2. No, let me do it again. So for the Big Smoke Bags, I'm going to give it an overall rating of a 9.2. Very impressed. If I ever see this on the menu, I'll definitely grab some more of it. Look, it's just burning perfectly, and I can tell it's getting me stoned as fuck already. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much. How long have we been on?
Like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Let me see if there's a few more clips I want to see from the Desirable Truth. Let's see the shorts. One sec, shorts, and let's put the most popular ones. One sec. Unwatched. Watched. Yeah.
What's your age?
I'm 30.
Are you single?
I am.
Do you think it's a red flag that you're single at 30?
Maybe to some people. I'd had a long-term relationship for a while up until like a couple years ago. So I think that for some people that have a very antiquated sense of romance and modern dating, it's possible they could see it as a red flag.
So why did you end that relationship?
Because we met when I was 19 and I grew into somebody that was very different than who I was at 19 years old, and the partner that I would have chosen at 28 was much different than the person that I had chosen at 19.
And how long was this prior relationship?
8 years. It was just a matter of falling out of love and being somebody new and just wanting to explore life as an individual.
Guys, in womanese, bring the camera back. In womanese, you know, she fell out of love. In other words, she got bored. You know, things become too much of a pattern for her. You know, there weren't enough excitement in the relationship, and that's how it sounds like she left. But also, chat, do you guys believe that she's 30? Are you seeing the same video I'm seeing?
I can't. It's small on my screen, though.
Bro, she does. She like look. If she's 30, it shows you exactly why I don't go for women nowhere near my age bracket. But fucking 30 is wild. Like, if she's 30, bro, like, she's cooked. She looks 40, honestly. I don't think she's
always
30.
having being tied to somebody.
How do you approach dating now?
It's not going to be just anybody. It's going to be the right person because I'm extremely content being single and I have a certain level of peace that I'm not willing to sacrifice.
What's your age?
Bro, she...
I'm 30.
Are you single?
I am.
Oh my God, hey guys, go look at the comments. She hasn't seen 30 in 10 years. She's a young looking 40. I'm 57 years old and I know 40 when I see it. Bro, I knew it, bro. I told you, like, there's no way. If she's 30, mega cooked. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, fucking. All right, cool. Let's find another one. Single at 33.
What's your age?
33.
Are you single?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I broke up with my ex-boyfriend who wanted to marry me because there was a power struggle in our relationship and I wanted him to dominate me.
Oh.
Because I don't want to be the leader, but I was the leader.
Ethan, shh.
So why didn't you
Ethan.
submit to him?
Because I didn't
Who is
feel
that?
safe with him. If he made me feel safe, I would have naturally submitted and we'd be amazing.
So what were some of the things that he did that made you feel like you were the one leading?
He couldn't make fast decisions. And I can make faster decisions.
Give me an example.
I mean, everything we did. He was gonna get his real estate license. He couldn't even pick the date for the test. Like, I'm sorry, I have 2 real estate licenses. I can pick dates for tests.
What's your age?
33.
Kiera, I hope you're watching. Even this fucking brain-dead cook 33-year-old, she's even telling you she wants to lead, and she left her man because he couldn't make fast enough decisions. And you think you're going to be finding a partnership. Cooked, bro. You are cooked. All right, let's go back.
What's your age?
I'm 24.
Are you single?
I am.
Why do you think that is?
I'm very picky with men that I choose to date, and I have high standards, so I'd rather be single than be with someone that I don't respect or want to be with.
So describe your perfect man to me. How much does he have to make?
He has to make at least as much as I do.
Which is?
Ballpark, 100K a year.
How tall does he have to be?
I'm 5'4", and I wear heels a lot, so I would say at least 5'11". He should be able to provide for a family. So if I am pregnant or I'm sick or going through something, he should be able to take care of me and the kids. That's kind of the expectation.
Well, realistically, at 24, do you want to have a kid right now?
No.
So why would he need to be able to provide for a family?
Because I date to marry.
What's your age?
I'm 24.
I didn't think that was that bad, but let's see what the comments are. I date to marry, the best answer I heard from anyone on these interviews. To be honest, she sounds like level-headed. And yeah, that's what I've kind of got from it, honestly. She wasn't that much of an L. Oh, yeah, bro, I remember this one. Mr. Organic, he's fucking funny. This guy. Listen to this one. This guy.
Do you think a man or a woman is the prize in a relationship?
I mean, the man is the prize by far. I'm talking about physically, mentally, monetarily, spiritually, knowledge-wise. There's nothing a woman can bring to the table above a man 99% of the time.
So you're saying that men are superior to women?
Elements that we're talking about as human beings, we got it. It's simple.
He's funny. That desirable truth guy is funny as well. The way he said, so you're saying they're superior to women? That he knows exactly what he's doing because he thinks exactly like that.
Level. She going out her league, so I got to treat her how I want to.
But what do you have to say to the people who say a man and a woman are the prize and they should be working for each other?
I mean, that's just not reality. We could have fun and joke around, play Halo and shit all night. They could do that. We want to play games. You know what I'm saying? I like goddamn Call of Duty too. But this is the reality here. We're going to keep it real organic today, sir. The men is the prize by far. They came from our rib. We didn't come from them. You understand? We put the semen into the egg to make it happen. The egg ain't nothing without us. They drop them every month, don't they? You know what I'm saying? So until we put some nut in that motherfucker, it's
Pick up Mr. Organic.
They need us. We don't need them.
Do you think a man
Cooking.
or a woman is the prize in a relationship?
I mean,
Oh, Mr. Organic's funny. All right, listen. We'll watch a few more and then we'll wrap it up. Where's... One sec.
How do you feel about a 35-year-old guy dating like a 19-year-old girl?
I think it's fucked up. I think that shit's fucked up. I don't know. I just think, like, that's just weird, you know? I would just never consider that. And if a guy, like, is not getting with his age, then that just makes me think that he can't pull in his age category.
What about a woman who's 35 dating like a 19-year-old male?
I still think that's fucked up. Either way, I don't think that's
Too much of an age gap.
Yeah. Like, what can you relate on with that, you know?
Even though they're both adults?
Yeah.
How do you...
Bro, first of all, do you think we can even relate to women in the first place? You guys have minds of children. We don't relate with you guys, but what's that now?
I think it's fucked up. I think that shit's fucked up.
Oh.
I don't know. I just
See the
think,
comments.
Like, that's just weird, you know? I would just never consider
It's
that.
fucked up unless
And if
he's
a guy,
rich.
like,
Then
is
you
not
go,
getting with
girl,
his
that's
age,
that
that
bad.
just makes me think that he can't pull in his age category.
And this is another thing that women keep saying, like pulling in his age category, like he can't do it. Like, let me tell you guys something. Pulling girls my age is probably the easiest thing I could ever do. Women who are 35 know they're fucking cooked. They're way easier. Like, click of a finger shit. Like, they know their options are dying. Like, bro, I'm telling you, 35-year-old women are way easier to speak to than a 21-year-old. Because a 21-year-old's got way more options. It's that simple. But, all right, let's see. All right, cool. I think... Where's it? Short. All right, let's put Myron on.
34. And are you single?
Well, I have a relationship, I have a girlfriend, but, you know, it's open on my end.
So, how does a man get a woman to commit to him while he's still pursuing other women?
It's not easy. Number one, you gotta be on point. You gotta have your money on point, you gotta have your frame on point. You obviously have to be honest up front. I was up front with my girl. I told her, look, I'm not gonna be monogamous. I don't believe in monogamy. I think it's a lie. It's a scam. Most guys that get involved in it, you know, always end up regressing, going back to being polygamous, whether they do it overtly or covertly. And I was just very honest up front. And obviously I take care of her as well. I think that's very important. You know, you have your masculine board in a performance, and you have to be that guy where you're that dude. You know what I mean? You got to take care of her and fulfill her in all different types of ways. Financially, emotionally, be her leader, etc.
But you're in your 30s now. Yeah. At what point in your life did you discover that monogamy wasn't for you?
Man, I've noticed this in my 20s, since being in college, but actually saying, all right, I'm gonna like go into this and like exercise that polygamy like within a relationship. I didn't really do it until my 30s because I understood that for you to be able to pull this off, you have to have your stuff together. You can't be a bum, you can't be a loser saying, oh, I want to have multiple girls. She's gonna look at you crazy. So if you're gonna go ahead and get that perk, because it is a perk, it's a privilege, you need to earn it. You need to earn it by being that dude.
And it's true, bro. That's why, going back to what I was going to end with, is not only is AI coming and you need to get on with the AI, but mediocre guys, like we said, the middle class as well is going to be completely vanish. So you either need to be great or you're going to turn into a bum. And yeah, man, even women will put up with certain things when you're that guy, honestly. And I guess if you find the right woman and you are the right guy in the right time, then you can get away with being open on your side and closed on hers, which, let's be honest, I think if every man could have that idealistically, they would. But yeah, no one's going to admit to it, obviously. It puts them in that position, but that's what I think. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Next week's ones are going to be a little bit more planned. We've got a lot of videos coming out as well. So it's not just streams, but we've got a lot of videos coming out. Don't forget to like the video,